Okay.
John, out of curiosity, if we don't have the quorum, we reschedule the meeting or we just go ahead and I'm just trying to understand.
So if there's no quorum, we can't meet, discuss, do anything on the agenda. So meeting is effectively over and everything gets automatically continued to next meeting.
Right.
Through the chair, you're live on HCAM TV.
So we'll wait for a while still to see who, hopefully one more can jump on. So we know that Elise won't. Let's see.
Navdeep will not. Gary will not. And I believe Rob will also not.
Not, that's true. Okay, so we got Matthew is here. I'm here. Let's see. Jane is here. We got Vicshini here. So just yeah, if Michael King pops on, we're good to go. Does anyone happen to have his contact information?
I think he's signing on right now, actually.
Oh, wonderful. Hey, Michael, is that you under Jessica's name?
Hey, it is me. Yep.
Okay, perfect. So we do have a quorum. With that being said, I'm going to call the meeting to order, and we'll go into the reason as to why after the remote meeting script is read. Is that the correct order, John?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so pursuant to Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023, this meeting will be conducted via remote means in accordance with applicable law. This means that members of the public body, as well as members of the public, may access this meeting via virtual means. Participants may access this meeting through the remote meeting link as posted on the meeting agenda and through the town's online calendar. When required by law or allowed by the chair, persons wishing to provide public comment or otherwise participate in the meeting may do so by raising their hand or otherwise signaling their intent to speak. This meeting will be recorded. Please take care to mute your microphones unless you've been recognized by the chair. We will now confirm attendance of members. Please respond with present if you are on this call. So do I just have to name the ones that I know are here? John? You're on mute, John.
Sorry, just go through all the names.
Okay. Elise. Ron Prefer, present. Matthew.
Present.
Michael.
Present.
Gary. Jane.
Present.
Vadeep. Robert. I'm going to destroy the name on once and once only. Vikash.
So just call me Vic to make it easier.
Okay, Vic, thank you. Okay, so Gary, Gary is the voted upon chair, and Rob is the vice, and neither of them could be here. So they've asked that someone come forth to chair this meeting. So I hereby volunteer to chair this meeting. Do I have a motion to nominate me, or does anyone else wish to chair this meeting so we can carry on with business?
I move to nominate Ron as the temporary chair for this meeting.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll do a roll call vote. Matthew?
Yes.
Jane?
Yes.
So just go through the order here, Matthew, Hannah, Jane. Michael,
Yes.
Vic,
Yes.
and Ron's a yes. So the motion carries. Next order of business is we are going to do the administrative items last as per usual, but we have two continued public hearings related to 188 and 190 Fruit Street. The applicants today reached out to us asking, let me find the exact words here. The applicants have requested to withdraw both the storm water management permit as well as the earth removal permit. They're entitled to do that, and so they have requested that these be removed, and hence the idea is to remove them without prejudice, which means at some point in the future they could come back to us unless we deem that there's a reason as to why they should be not allowed to come back. So, John, is there anything you'd like to add to that?
Through the chair, this is just a standard procedure to withdraw the without prejudice. I'm sure some of you have been on the board have seen that, but it just allows them to reapply within 2 years with the same application. Is the applicant on by chance? I don't think so. Seeing not, so any comments from the board? Matthew?
So what's the process here? Do we just vote to close the meeting without voting on anything else?
There's going to be specific motions about those two action items. The idea would be I would put forth, ask for the motion to withdraw without prejudice, and if the planning board agrees with those two motions, then those two are done, and they can come back within the next 2 years to restart the process again, or not restart, but already continue on. But we would close those two continuing public hearings at this juncture. Okay, any other comments from the board? Okay, any comments from the public? Okay, hearing none, I'm seeking a motion to allow the withdrawal of the application for 188 190 Fruit Street by Rebel Hills LLC for the earth removal permit without prejudice. We're going to do these by one by one. So we'll do, we'll do the correct order first. Allow the withdrawal of the application for 188 190 Fruit Street by Rebel Hill LLC for the storm water management permit without prejudice. Do I have a motion?
Moved.
Okay, Matthew moves, Jane seconds. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the vote by roll call. Matthew?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Jane?
Yes.
Vic?
Yes.
And Ron is a yes. Motion carries. Next one will be regarding the earth removal permit. Again, I'm seeking a motion to allow for the withdrawal of the application for 188 190 Fruit Street by Rebel Hill LLC for the earth removal permit without prejudice. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Matthew. Vic is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll have a roll call vote. Matthew?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Jane?
Yes.
Vic?
Yes.
And Ron is a yes. So those two are now officially no longer items on our agenda. So we're all the way down to number 4. Very effective meeting today. You have a question, Matthew?
Yeah, process. We have to vote to close those, don't we? No, it automatically happens. Okay.
Okay.
Through the chair, when you withdraw the application, the public hearing is closed.
Thank you very much, Matt. Okay, so the last item, besides administrative items, will be the continuing public hearing regarding 87 Hayden Road, Honey Hill Farms LLC. So, John, would you kindly give a little bit of a background on this for us? And then we'll open up to the applicant for comments. So actually we'll open up to the survey.
Sure. So this is just a stormwater management permit for the site plan that was already approved. This was just kind of cleaning up the whole permitting process. Usually they're done simultaneously, but we did them separately. So the review has been done. Darren will speak more to it, but it's my understanding that all of the comments from the peer review engineer have been addressed. We've received a final revised site plan set from the applicant. So unless there's questions or concerns or comments from the board, the technical review of this is essentially complete.
Okay, so I'll go to Darren, if you wouldn't mind telling us about what Weston and Sampson investigated, and also like how you've been discussing with Dave regarding the actual the agreement of what has been proposed.
Sure, yeah, thank you. Again, I'm Darren Kirchen from Weston and Sampson, who had done the peer review with our team for this development. Yeah, so at the last hearing, we presented just 5 kind of open comments on the stormwater, which was our initial review of the stormwater management permit application. They're fairly minor, and they continued forward from the major project site plan review. And as John had mentioned, all of the comments were addressed. I can quickly run through what those were in our prior memo. And then we did issue an updated memo on Friday that just reflected that all the open items have been addressed. Those included the invert elevations, just minor corrections, a few hundredths of a foot just being updated on the plans versus the stormwater modeling, which was done by the applicant. A manhole structure location was labeled. We also had a comment on the size of the storm scepter unit, on the drainage basin, which the applicant increased the sizing of the storm scepter unit to reflect our comments. So that was very helpful. The 4th comment was just one tied to the stormwater manual standards, which is tied to redevelopment. And because the applicant met our previous 3 comments, then that 4th comment was already addressed. And then lastly is the low impact development, which as of the last hearing, we did understand the applicant was providing rain gardens, and we had some limited comments just on snow removal and sight lines based on the location of those, which the applicant has addressed by removing any snow placement at the rain gardens, which we would agree with and recommend, and then adding a note that there'll be maintenance of any vegetation that's in the rain gardens to maintain sight lines for vehicles. And it's internal to the parking lot, so there should be low speed anyways, but just making sure that sight lines are maintained within the parking lot for vehicles entering and exiting.
Thanks, Darren. Dave, you're representing Honey Hill?
Yes. So yeah, we agree with Darren's summary of the last meeting, the last 2 meetings actually. Some minor adjustments were made, and snow removals, site distance notes, and plantings, rain gardens. So we agree that we think we have everything addressed, and we agree with Darren's summary of the last 2 meetings.
Excellent. So I'm going to open it up to the board if they have any comments regarding not only the conditions that are placed in your documents, but the overview that both Darren and Dave have provided. Very talkative meeting today. This is awesome. Okay, then at this point, I'll open up to the public. Are there any comments from the public regarding 187 Hayden Road? Okay, hearing none. So, John, I'm going to make sure I do this correctly. So, we need to, the applicant has requested no waivers. Is that correct? And so, therefore, by my understanding is we need to vote on the proposed findings as well as the proposed conditions. And this can be done all at once. Am I correct on that there, John?
I would recommend you do the findings and then the conditions and approval at the same time. So findings separate, conditions and approval at the same time.
Okay, thank you very much. So with that being said, do I have a motion that the regarding the 87 Hayden Road, that the proposed work will comply with the Hopkinton stormwater regulations?
So moved.
So moved by Matt. Second?
Yep. Second.
A second from, who was that?
Michael.
Michael, okay. Any questions, any comments from the board? Hearing none, I'll do a roll call vote. Matthew?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Jane?
Yes.
Vic?
Yes.
And Ron is a yes. Next is the conditions. I need to read all of them. There are many, so please don't take a nap. Okay, so proposed condition 1. An erosion and sediment, all erosions and sediment controls shall comply with the following performance criteria. A, minimize total area of disturbance and protect natural features in soil. B, sequence activities to minimize simultaneous areas of disturbance. Mass clearing and grading of the entire site shall be avoided. C, minimize peak rate of runoff in accordance with the Massachusetts stormwater standards. D, minimize soil erosion and control sedimentation during construction, provided that prevention of erosion is preferred over sedimentation control. Divert uncontaminated water around disturbed areas. E, maximize groundwater recharge. F, install and maintain all erosion and sediment control measures in accordance with the manufacturer's specification and good engineering practices. G, prevent off-site transport of sedimentation. H, protect and manage on and off-site material storage areas, overburden the stockpile of dirt, burrow areas, or other areas used solely by the permit project are considered a part of the project. I, comply with applicable federal, state, and local laws and regulations, including waste disposal, sanitary sewer, or septic system regulations, and air quality requirements, including dust control. J, prevent significant alteration to habitats mapped by the Massachusetts Natural Heritage and Endangered Species Program as endangered, threatened, or of specific concerns estimated habitats of rare wildlife and certified vernal pools and priority habitats of rare species from the proposed activities. K, institute interim and permanent stabilization measures which shall be instituted on a disturbed area as soon as practicality, but no more than 14 days after construction activity has temporarily or permanently ceased on that portion of the site. L, properly manage on-site construction and waste materials. M, prevent off-site vehicle tracking of sedimentation. N, dust shall be controlled at the site. O, divert off-site runoff for highly erodible soils and steep slopes to stable areas. That's 1. 2, the project shall comply with the following erosion and sedimentation control requirements. A, prior to any land disturbance activities commencing on the site, the developer shall physically mark limits of no land disturbance on the site with tape, signs, or orange construction fence so that workers can see the areas to be protected. The physical markers shall remain in place until a certification of completion has been issued. B, appropriate erosion and sediment control measures shall be installed prior to soil disturbance. Measures shall be taken to control erosion within the project area. Sediment in runoff water shall be trapped and retained within the project area. Wetland areas and surface water shall be protected from sediments. C, sediment shall be removed once the volume reaches 1/4 to 1/2 the height of a hay bale. Sediment shall be measured from the silt fence prior to reaching the load-bearing capacity of the silt fence, which may be lower than 1/4 to 1/2 the height. D, sediment from sediment traps or sedimentation ponds shall be removed when design capacity has been reduced by 50%. E, soil stockpiles must be stabilized or converted to the end of each workday. Stockpile side slope shall not be greater than 2:1. All stockpiles shall be surrounded by sediment controls. Disturbed areas remain, F, disturbed areas remaining idle for more than 14 days shall be stabilized with seeding, wood chips, bark mulch, tarpaulins, or other approved methods. G, for active construction areas such as borough or stockpile areas, roadway improvements, and areas within 50 feet of a building under construction, a permanent sediment control system shall be installed and maintained to contain soil. H, a tracking pad or other approved stabilization method shall be constructed at all entrance-exit points of the site to reduce the amount of soil carried onto roadways and off the site. Wilson Street and Cedar Street in the vicinity of the project shall be swept as needed throughout the construction process. I, permanent seeding shall be undertaken in the spring from March through May, and in late summer and early fall from August to October 15th. During the peak summer months and in the fall after October 15th, when seeding is found to be impractical, appropriate temporary stabilization shall be applied. Permanent seeding may be undertaken during the summer if plans provide for adequate mulching and watering. J, all slopes steeper than 3:1, as in H to V is 33.3%, as well as perimeter dikes, sediment basins, or traps and embankments must, upon completion, be immediately stabilized with sod, seed, and anchored straw mulch or other approved stabilization measures. Areas outside of the permanent sediment control system must not be disturbed. K, temporary sediment trapping devices must not be removed until permanent stabilization is established in all contributory drainage areas. L, all temporary erosion and sediment control measures shall be removed after final site stabilization. Disturbed soil areas resulting from removal of temporary measures shall be permanently stabilized within 30 days of removal. 3, a minimum of 7 days prior to the start of construction, a detailed construction sequence shall be submitted to the principal planner by the site contractor for review and approval. The approved construction sequence shall be followed throughout the course of the construction and shall be altered only with prior review by and written approval from the principal planner. 4, a signed copy of the stormwater pollution prevention plan shall be provided to the board prior to the building permit. Per 6.0.K.2, the stormwater pollution prevention plan must include the signed notice of intent and approval letter. 5, all required stormwater pollution prevention plans, stormwater construction site inspection reports shall be submitted to the principal planner within 14 days of each inspection. 6, an adequate stockpile of erosion control material shall be on site at all times for emergency or routine replacement and shall include materials to repair or replace silt fences, hay bales, stone filters, berms, or other devices planned for use during construction. 7, soil testing and excavation of the site's stormwater basins must be observed by the board's engineer prior to laying loam and seed. The applicant developer shall notify the principal planner at least 48 hours, weekends and holidays excluded, prior to soil testing and or excavation to allow for adequate time to coordinate these observations. And finally, 8, all stormwater basins must be cleaned once the site is stabilized. All stormwater basins shall be cleaned prior to issuance of certificate of occupancy. So, with that being said, those are the corresponding findings, as well as, sorry, where are they all? Those are the corresponding conditions. I'm going to open it up to the board first. Are there any additional conditions that the board member wishes to add, or in this case, even remove? Dave. Oh, you're on mute.
Sorry, I tried to memorize what you were saying. A lot of that is common sense and standard practice.
Yes.
One of the things I had noticed that when you had mentioned the two road names, one being Wilson Street, that must be a typo. That's not our project.
One moment here.
If we could just revise that before the final.
Let's see, find it for a second here.
That was probably
Under
copied
H.
from a different project.
Sorry, which one's that? There it is.
2H.
2H. Wilson and Cedar Street. So what are the street names?
So
Hayden
we're
Row.
at Hayden Row.
Hayden, yeah, just Hayden. Is there a secondary street would it be potentially abutted? No, it's just Hayden. Okay. I'm just going to actually ask the board, everyone okay with us changing to the correct name of the street on add 2H? Assuming that's
Seems
considered a
reasonable.
friendly amendment. A friendly amendment to that. Are there any other comments, Dave, that you have? Darren, did we address all the concerns and the board? Are there any other conditions that we feel are necessary?
From me, no.
Darren's okay. Dave, any comments?
No comments.
Excellent. The board, any additional thoughts, concerns, additions, anything? John?
Not about the conditions, but one of the things with the motion for approval, which I anticipate is coming soon, if it's okay with the applicant to continue the decision deadline to October 30th, because I feel like it's going to be difficult getting a chair signature within 6 days of this meeting or 7 days of this meeting. So I would like the board to include that in their motion.
So let's see what currently says here is there is no specific date or indicated on the approval of conditions. However, John, you're asking for us to change that to 2 weeks?
Yeah, so the current date, just in statutory requirements, the current decision deadline is October 23rd.
And so,
So I'd like that to be moved to October 30th so we can get a signature from the chair. Have enough time to get a signature from the chair.
Dave, would you be amenable to that?
Yeah, I thought the motion last meeting on October 2nd was to take it to the 21st of October, not the 23rd, but I have no problem going to the 30th.
Excellent. So John, would we put that in the exact same motion?
Yeah.
Okay. And so how would you recommend that we add a sentence to that something at the end of it saying that the chair would sign that this would be signed off by October 30th? Would that be?
No, I think you just need to say, so the motion would read, I move the board approve the stormwater management permit with the conditions as they were previously read aloud by the chair. The board continues the decision deadline to October 30th, 2023.
Okay, I'm going to write that down. Board continues the decision. What'd you say after word decision? The board continues the decision
Deadline to October
Deadline.
30th,
Thank you.
2023.
deadline until October 30th. So as there is no more discussion being had from anyone, I ask for a motion to move that the board approve the stormwater management permit with the following conditions, as were previously read out loud by the chair, and the board continue the decision deadline until October 30th. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Matthew, do I have a second?
Yep, second.
By Michael. Any further discussions by board members? Hearing none, I'll call the vote. Matthew,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Jane,
Yes.
Vic,
Yes.
and Ron is a yes. So that motion carries. And since it carries, I wish to entertain a motion to hereby close the public hearing related to 87 Hayden Road Stormwater Management Permit.
So moved.
Matthew moved, second.
Second.
Second from Vic. Any further discussions? Hearing none, I'll do a roll call vote. Matthew,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Jane,
Yes.
Vic,
Yes.
and Ron is a yes. So, Dave, congratulations. That is
Great.
closed.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Excellent. And that is the last of our major items. The last thing is administrative items, and that's to approve the minutes that were posted by, I think, John, actually, you put them up yourself, regarding our October 2nd meeting. Matt, I see your hand is up. Do you have a question?
I just have a suggested edit.
Okay. Please.
I believe so. Under 1D, the second for the minutes, it says VP. I believe that's probably Vic. I was wondering if we could just change that to read his full name.
John, is that easily acceptable? I figured as
Not my
much.
secret. You guys are all initials until I do a global search.
Good catch there, Matthew. Are there any other edits that anyone wishes to bring forth regarding the minutes for October 2nd? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to accept the minutes, the friendly amendment for October 2nd, 2023.
So moved.
Second?
Yep, second.
Second from Michael. I'll call roll call vote. Matthew?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Jane?
Yes.
Vic?
Yes.
And Ron is a yes. The minutes are approved. And therefore, all that is left is to adjourn the meeting. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, Matthew and Mike.
Yes.
Okay, any further questions? Any comments? Hearing none, I'll call the vote. Matthew,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Jane,
Yes.
Vic,
Yes.
and Ron is yes. The meeting is adjourned in 31 minutes. Not too bad. Well, I think it's too we're withdrawn, stuff like that. So I wish you all a wonderful evening. Enjoy the extra time you did have, and I'll see you. When is our next meeting there, John? Do you have it off the top of your head? That's at the end of the
It's in November.
November.
It is November 6th.
November 6th. I'll see you all November 6th.
Awesome. Have a good
All the
night.
best, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Have a good evening.
Yeah. Bye.